Hello there, my name is John Wishart and I am Head of History and Politics at Belfast High School. I've been asked to take this little section here on for new teachers on sort of new e-learning tips and things like that. And I'm very happy to do that because I have to say I've been teaching for 10 years and I have to say I'm also still learning things all the time and really learning from other people as well too. So by any means, these things that I'm going to suggest are just some of my ideas, but as I say, there's lots and lots of other very talented teachers out there who I'm learning from as well too. This should take about 10 minutes, and I'm just going to throw a few things out there that I think are reasonably important and that will definitely enhance your teaching as well too. So I've called this New Teacher, New World because the world that you're entering in is a vastly different world, and the things that you're going to bring, your skill set that you're going to bring to new teaching jobs is very different even 2 years ago because of the crisis that we have actually faced ourselves with over the last year. So have a look through these things and see if they'll help you out in terms of getting new jobs and enhancing what you do as well too. Okay, so the first thing I would suggest then is that there are a number of different things out there in terms of e-learning, and they're all very good. We have Google Classroom, we have Microsoft Teams. If I were to give you any tips, it's just to choose and really excel at the one you're going to do. Whatever job you might be applying to, they may actually unfortunately use one of these two systems. They may also use Shobi as well, which is another fantastic tool. Each of these is fantastic. I'm not going to denigrate one or the other. I could use both to the same level of and success, and both of them have their own attributes and perhaps limitations as well, I have to say too. The one I am using at the minute, because it's a whole school approach, is Google Classroom, and I'm going to base quite a lot of this presentation on Google Classroom as well too. So Google Classroom itself, well, the first thing I would suggest to you is really be organized. Think of this as an extension to your own classroom. A couple of years ago, Google Classroom was something that was used by many teachers, but as of last year, it's one of those key apps that we have to use to produce e-learning for our pupils. And no matter if there's a virus or not, I believe that this is still very important. I was using this along with many other schools for years before the virus ever came about, and I think it's a great tool. So be organised. What I mean by that is this: your actual classroom itself needs to be very well laid out. So this, whenever you go in to create, try to go to the topics first and try to create for your whole year. So you can see here I've put down specifications first, and then the first key topic, the second key topic, the third, the fourth, and I'll add on to that as well too. Towards the end I always put topic mind maps and revision and past paper questions as well too. And I usually have an assignments page at the very top. It means whenever students are coming in, they can just click to the right page. They know where they are. It's nicely laid out and it's nicely structured. And you know what teachers like. We all like a bit of structure. So this here definitely adds to that as well too. Okay, you can see here as well the assignments are all laid out as well too, in chronological order. But if you break this down as well too, even within the different topics, I've actually made sure, look, this is lesson 1, lesson 2, all the way down. Some of these lessons actually may go over 2 or 3, but because it's a kind of a subtopic, I try to include it in one, so as it's nicely accessible for them. Within that then, I actually break it down into lots and lots of different things. Okay, so I may have the e-guide for sections of it. I might have my PowerPoint. I might have my YouTube videos. I might have mind maps in there as well too. So just be nicely organised. It should be easy enough for them to actually go in and use this for revision as well too. Remember as well, you can just press repost later on to another Google Classroom, or you could actually use this whole system again for next year. So the more you put in, the more you can get out later on. Okay, next point would be to be flexible. All your different learners out there will have access to whatever you put in here. So try not to just put in like a worksheet. Try to think outside the box. You might have visual learners, kinesthetic learners, auditory learners. So try to put something for everyone if you can. There's lots of YouTube videos in some of these, but I also put in worksheets. I put in reading. I put in mind maps as well too. This might be a worksheet that I send to them, for example, which they have to complete, but I would like to think that they would actually move on beyond that, especially for things like A level. So put in YouTube, BBC Bite Size is great as well too. A lot of those have nice self-explanatory sections and quizzes as well too. Kahoot's brilliant as well too, so these little Kahoot quizzes, you can add those. They love to do those as well too, and that can actually sum up a whole topic like this. And articles for A level especially, use articles, useful articles you can find that are easily accessible and put up to Google Classroom as well too, within copyright too, I have to say. So next is use rubrics. Rubrics is fantastic. I've only recently caught on to this. So whenever you set an assignment, you can actually add rubrics to this. What this is you just basically go into your mark schemes. You get your levels. Okay, so this is my 10 marker for an A-level history essay, and you put those in. You can put these into these rubrics, and then whenever you're marking, you can actually assess according to this. So down here you can say, well, which level am I in? I've put this to level 4, okay, and that'll be top level, and they can go in and say, well, what have I achieved for that top level, and they'll be able to see, well, this is why you've reached this top level. It could be like level 3, what you've missed. So it's really good for them to be able to check and see why they're in that level and what they can change to get into the next one up. Very easy for me to change as well too, so I just go down, I just click this. If I want to adjust it within the points, I go down here and I change it to maybe 9 or 8, depending on where it might be within that level as well too. But this is fantastic. I really like using this here section. Okay, very good for literary subjects. Alright, next then would be to flip the learning. Sometimes they don't like to hear from us all the time, so they like to have the challenge of actually being able to present to us. So give them the topic, let them come back. This is great during lockdown, and it's great during the year as well too. They love to go out, they love to investigate something, research it. If you have a website that you actually produce yourself as a department, you can put lots of material on there that they just have to go in and avail of, and then they can present all these different topics to us, and it comes across as really effective. So during lockdown, this happened for a number of topics, and the pupils really took to this and really enjoyed it, and it also lets them work outside the box. So a lot of them produce videos, YouTube videos, PowerPoints, all sorts of different material, posters. They all come in different ways in terms of like how they all present themselves. So actually making a presentation is a key skill, I think, and it's something that allows them to actually show this key skill in a different way. So that's a very effective way of learning as well too. The other thing is to be smart for yourself as well too. So there's a number of different things out there now that actually self-mark. They teach and they self-mark. So Kahoot is great. You can set that up yourself. You can go into other people's quizzes, and what you do here is create this as a challenge. So there's a challenge feature where it puts them up against each other. They get a code and they can challenge each other in terms of the quiz, and they can also see what they get right and against time as well too, and all those results are available to you afterwards. You don't even have to mark that. It's all freely available, and you can actually then slot that into your marks for the year. Scenic is absolutely amazing too. I've only been introduced to this by a fellow teacher in Belfast High. This is fantastic. You go in, you choose the courses there. It teaches the courses, so little topics, you just choose which ones. It teaches it, and then there's a quiz at the end and all their marks. It shows you how long they've been on for and how successful they've been in terms of the quizzes. Google Forms, obviously you can set your own quizzes as well, and this feeds all the way straight back to you in terms of results as well too. So be smart, let them do the work, and let the technology take the strain, which is what it's meant to have done in the first place. So and BBC Bite Size as well. For this here, well, there's lots of little BBC Bite Size sections. Let them go in and do the little quizzes, take a screenshot of it, and then send that back to you as their homework. That's as good as anything. Okay, even if they have to do it again and again to get a better mark, well, that they're still learning. So next thing is how do I like to learn? I like to try to flip this over to myself. How do I like to learn myself? Well, all of us probably do this here, but one thing is definitely using YouTube. I had a faulty boiler in the house, and to get it fixed, I had to go to YouTube and see, well, how does this get fixed? And I've applied this here to my students as well. They all love YouTube, so I set up a YouTube channel a couple of years ago, and it has quite a lot of subscribers all across the world as well too. And it's been very successful in terms of reaching out to my classes. They really like it. It's customized as well too, so it's like leaving out the things that they don't need and including things they do. So YouTube's a great way to go down. You can all avail of this here. It's very easy to set up. Just just use your ordinary ordinary email and get a password, and you're flying. You're off, and you can do it from there. Okay. So does that mean you have to produce your own videos? Absolutely not. Think about this. Think about your playlists, for example. You could actually create customized playlists for all your different subject groups, and you just go into your YouTube channel and go to that, and it's all there for you. So it's great. It's also student friendly, so the students love it. 24/7. They all obviously live by a different time frame to the rest of us, so they can actually avail of this 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Playlists are on there. Worldwide learning. This here, believe it or not, some of these videos, for example, Northern Ireland's been taught through this here into Bavarian schools. The Native Americans are being taught to American schools through this as well too. And yeah, one of the biggest videos here is actually on Henry II and Thomas Becket, and it's actually for Indian schools who use it for one of their English literature of all things. So this enables you to take your learning across the world, and you can use all these different things: Screencast-O-Matic, Screencastify, to produce your PowerPoints and put it up. Video Scribe's what I use. You can see this in if you go onto Belfast High School history, you can see Video Scribe being used. PowerToon have used that as well too. It's very, very good. And Doodly is another one as well too. So these here you have to pay for, but I think it's quite a good investment as well too. Okay. Next one, everyone loves a quiz. So I've already mentioned some of these as well too. So Kahoot is definitely one. They love this in class. You can set this here in class if they use their mobile phones or their iPads, whatever they might have, and you put it on the screen, and it's really good for plenary at the end of the class. If you have classroom management issues, well, you can threaten not to have this here at the end of the class, and it tends to work because they really do love it. It's brilliant for boys as well too. Boys, if there's a big gender gap, this tends to really work. Gamification tends to really work for boys especially, and girls too, but boys especially, it tends to really clue into a lot of the things that they're going to be doing outside. Quizlet's brilliant as well too for keywords and matching and games. Very, very good app as well too. And this Quizzes, I think it's called, I've only just got onto this recently, but all these different apps are fantastic for throwing out the knowledge to them and making sure they understand it in a really fun way. Okay, so next thing is to break it down. One of the most effective things I've did is using an app called Inspiration, and it's £10, and it's the best £10 I've spent. Okay, because what it enables me to do is create mind maps like this, and these mind maps are encompass the whole topic. So the whole topic will be there. So it could be maybe 2 or 3 weeks work sometimes. And how do I know this is effective? Well, come exam time, they're outside their halls waiting to get in, and they've printed these out in A3, so they've printed these out in big, and a lot of them try to do blind mind maps as well, so they use this as their tester one, the one with everything on it, and they try to replicate it, and then they go back and find out what they miss. Really effective way of revising, and great for GCSE, A-level, the whole way down. It's fantastic. What I love about this as well too, which you'll love, is on Inspiration, if you go up to the top, there's a little button will be up here. If you click the button, it transforms all your mind map into how do you put it, like written notes on with different points, just at the click of a button. So absolutely brilliant little app. I really recommend that as well too. So this is very effective. Okay, and finally is Website Wonders. Whenever I started teaching, they were using different features in the classroom, and it did ask, is this working for you? They said it's not really, and I said, well, look, how could I actually reach you guys in terms of learning in the time? And way that you want, and website tended to be the way forward. Within 2 or 3 weeks I was actually on beginner teacher course, and at the very end of the session, wasn't even on this here, but at the very end of the session somebody introduced this free website for teachers, and ever since I've been producing my own websites. So it's called education.weebly.com, and if you go in there, sign up, it's a free website builder and free for teachers. So I'd really recommend you do that. It's fantastic. So I've been using this for the last 10 years and build my own websites. So this is a whole history website here. So it's got year 8, year 9, year 10, GCSE, A-level and career sections. But within that there I've got interactive timelines and interactive quizzes, and different sections are all broken down. So I go in and these are the empire and slavery, racial injustice, US civil rights. You just go click on the section and it takes you through, and you've got your whole course laid out for you there. So there's an example from year 8 here. So really effective way of learning. On lockdown I didn't panic because I knew that the whole course was online, and it was well linked up. It had everything that was needed as well too. So yeah, really good little tool. I have tried to introduce this to other teachers as well too. Within this here, these are a couple of things you'll love as well. So cool text is brilliant for going on. There is one called Dafont as well, DAFONT, and what you do is you go in here to cool text and you go in and you choose whichever style you want. Up here under fonts you can actually go into even better things, like you could have movie fonts, you could have horror fonts for example, so that's really good for if you're doing like things like Bloody Mary in history or volcanoes. So go in, you just put in what you want and it just automatically creates it, and you just copy and paste into your presentation. So I'd really recommend that. It's great, you'll love that. Crafter's another fantastic one I've been using recently. So you go in, you might have like a past paper for example, you go in, you get the URL for it or a file or whatever it might be that you have, and it creates one of these QR codes for you. So what I've did, I can show you an example. This would be outside our main classroom. So you have these different codes. This will be to take them to our website. This is to our YouTube channel, and down here is to the SIA site for past paper questions and support documents, things like that. So they just come in, use their phone, and they get straight onto this here. You can put this in, obviously, in their books as well too. So very effective wee tool. Also makes your corridors come to life as well, because they can actually scan those in and it could have all augmented reality, things like that too. The last thing I'm going to say is, look, I've been really involved with a group of amazing teachers over the summer. There's 6, 7 of us, and we've formed together this really brilliant group called Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate. So it's on Facebook, we've got our own website, so it's niteachers.org, and it's on YouTube, so we have a YouTube channel as well too. And we've tried to put loads and loads of tips in there for actually for teaching, okay, where everybody's sharing. So please go into that there, use it, share information you have as well too, because you're all fresh ideas. So you could really help us out as well there too. But I hope you all have a fantastic start to your teaching career. I might see some of you as students as well in the classroom, but I hope this has been useful. Take care. Thanks.